for Sunday morning, like when you can't.
Okay, it's
fun.
first day of Origins, the second session. This is Crhulhu Madness. We have a full table of people. Yay! So,
More the merrier.
it really is. Now, in this game, we're telling a story. To start off with, your game host, me, will present you an opening bit. The crazies, and you know the crazies because they look crazy. Well, the little girl doesn't, but that's very deceptive. Crazies. Everybody is a crazy except for the police and the investigators. The crazies have escaped. But before they left, they all said, "It is coming." We have two problems in this game. One is to collect up the crazies and return them to treatment. The other is to figure out what it is. Okay, so here, have a seat. Now,
I'm actually I want to know what it is.
yeah, you actually are correct. You don't really want to, but you might anyway. Okay.
Fine, I'll trade you for a red.
The red and gold one.
So, here is how you play the game.
Can I trade you for a red?
You point
Those all have the left.
to a figure, and you say what happens. That's it. You now know how to play.
Just
Now,
like little kids.
One
See what
person
they do.
says something,
Look at the face.
another person can then say, no, that doesn't happen, and they can totally overwrite what you just said. In other words, it's just like little kids.
So you can do this
Yes,
for crazies,
I
you can do this for the
It
investigators.
isn't just
and the
little
cops.
kids. I'm
Yeah.
12. I still do this.
We all do it. We're adults and we're doing it.
Oh yes.
This is how we tell that we're nerds.
just wait.
Adults
Now,
develop more.
And
You
it's
were saying,
the cop, the crazies, the investigators, any of them.
we are all cooperating. You aren't running a character.
No, what I mean
You're-
is that when you can pick any of
Yeah,
the above. Okay.
yeah.
Even if you don't.
And when you're speaking, you can move figures. You can even make sound effects. Exactly. Okay. Another player, well, so we get to this. Another player can jump in and change what you say, or more often, people add to what you say. Now, if somebody adds to your thing and you don't like it, you can say, roll for it. If you roll 6 or less, it does not happen and cannot happen. If you roll 7 or greater, it happens and cannot be changed. So normally, if I say something, you could jump in and change what I said. If a roll is made, you cannot change it. It's established.
Do I say what's happened if you fail?
No, it just establishes it happened or it doesn't happen and cannot happen.
Okay, got it.
Now,
Now-
is this the person that says the first thing rolls? Or
Well,
someone else at the table roll?
you can ask anybody to roll for something.
Okay.
So if you say something and I say roll for it, well, roll. But you might say, no, you succeeded with that one. No, I don't like that. Roll again. Everybody can call for a roll, but it's likely we will have very few dice rolls in this game. So I see you have your dice out. That's cool. Be prepared to never roll them.
Red for the win.
Now,
So that's a brilliant plan.
that's pretty much it, except for these
Robert's
weird
on the side of
squiggly
evil.
counters. They represent the unknown.
Robert is on the side of evil. Just want to make that clear.
That's it. We all are. When you add something to the story and the game host thinks it's important, I will pull an unknown counter off the board. When all of them are gone, we should have enough information to solve the problem of the game. So time limits it, and the counters are the figures in the game are what we have in the game. So make use of what we have. but it doesn't mean you can't add things. We just won't have miniatures for it.
So we won't actually be using the figures that are unknown as like spiders and rats and stuff?
You can.
Okay.
You absolutely can. So, with that, I am going to take you around the table the first time and have you do something just to get used to this. But after that, there is no order of play. You jump in when you have an idea. Just let somebody else speak before you say anything else. So, let's start off here. Point to a miniature. Tell us what happens.
He hears this voice behind him. He is coming. He is coming. Turning around swiftly, sees a woman coming at him with a knife. He is coming. Well, since it's just the two of us, it's certainly not me. What's going on here? Ma'am, you're going to have to put down that knife and come along with me.
Now we go here. What happens next?
Do you get like a short statement of, okay, a couple of paragraphs basically. Okay.
Yeah, think of a paragraph.
She looks left and right, looking beyond him and around, and she turns to the north and sees in the distance, the policeman sees that there is a fire which is lighting up the night sky. He's coming, she shrieks, with the knife, now held defensively.
What happens next?
Ask me to do this without whiskey.
She needs a drink.
But we haven't. What's this thing anyway?
Centipede or something.
Yeah, giant centipede.
We haven't given any consideration to Cedric Centipede, who is coming to devour. He's hungry. He's coming to devour a little snack. In the way of a policeman or perhaps a crazy lady with a knife.
What happens next?
The little girl starts crying. I want my mommy! I want my mommy! Where is she? And she looks and she sees her mommy over there with the knife, so she starts running towards her.
They're moving. It's about a hand span.
Now, you just did something that is exactly right. You can shift the scene around everything you add. You can jump. What happens next?
Okay.
Get you most of the way across the map.
Very well, the investigators over here haven't done much. So can I move all of the investigators?
Of course.
Alright, all the investigators.
Of course you can.
All the investigators see this sort of group of crazies over here, so they're moving over toward them. I'm an amateur. I don't have anything to do or say.
That's okay. That's plenty.
Okay. So, back to the little girl and her mom. Well, considering they're crazy, the woman shouts and stabs the
Stabs the little
Hey,
girl.
We haven't
They're
had any
crazy.
action yet.
That's
That
crazy.
is true.
Okay, so I want to add that the reason the investigators are moving into action is because Greta Garbo got a phone call and they're speeding to the scene in her Rolls Royce. So they keep moving towards that crazy across the Charles River.
Which one?
That one right.
The
That's
old
his name.
guy.
Guy with the gun to his head.
Yeah.
And they're all
All of the investigators. They're in the Rolls Royce together.
Okay.
They're all together in this.
Oh, by the way, you have noticed that this is set in Boston. Do any of you know much about Boston?
Some.
Okay. Feel free to use every bit of local knowledge you have and teach us all about Boston. I think that'll be fun.
I know that I don't drive in Boston. I stop and get on the T.
There is a river. That should be kept in consideration that there is a river there.
Yes, but it's got bridges.
Yes, but you don't
The
still have to.
Rolls Royce was
But it's like you can throw people into the water.
You sure could. So now we're not going to go around the table. It's when you have an idea, jump in, and I'll let you go to it. What happens next?
how the sequence goes. Where are the crazies going back to?
We don't know yet.
They spread out.
No, I mean, where are
Where's
they
the
supposed to
insane
go back
asylum?
to?
Oh, well, Harvard, of course. Harvard.
Harper's out here.
So they all have PhDs.
Well,
then?
I'll jump in. The crazies attracted by the bright light over in the Charlestown section move as if drawn inexorably towards a goal.
Fun, crazy.
The stabbing continues.
The little girl whistles for her dog. And the dog starts trying to come over and starts to swim the Charles River.
The little girl is stabbed again and again and again, and yet does nothing. In fact, she looks at her mother and says, "Mommy, you make me laugh."
Yes, she says it tickles.
Tickles.
Excellent. The city is in chaos. My plan is working perfectly. Now it's time to poison the rest of the water supply.
Yay!
Does he have to stop halfway? That was more than one hit spin.
Insert evil laugh here.
Well, my move is to bring him the rest of the way.
Okay, the investigators zoom across the Charles River on that bridge that they're near.
No, they go,
No, it's just a regular Rolls Royce.
come on, buddy.
Okay.
All right, hold on. He said that they zoomed across. You said he didn't. You just overwrote what she said. She overwrote what you
What
said.
he said was that they flew.
Time for dice, Dan.
No, I didn't. That's what they do.
Dice
Jump.
for it.
It's like the Dukes of Hazzard.
Okay.
So
Go for it. They jumped across the river.
no, I'm going to ask you to roll for it.
Yeah.
You got to roll 7 or better, and they jump.
Roll.
Oh,
do?
yeah.
It did. It's the Dukes of Massachusetts.
Dukes of Hazzard.
However,
Classic
the Rolls Royce
Dukes
is
of
not the
Hazzard.
general
Oh,
lead.
God, yes.
On the other side, they
That's
spill.
so wrong.
Slewing around the corner, investigators all end up in a wrecked car.
Which
And
is exactly what really happens if you do that.
And then they climb out shaken but not injured and hop on a trolley.
Come on.
Live investigators.
You should have had at least one of them.
Okay. The crazy over here is poisoning the water supply to make sure that Boston does not survive.
Also, the poison is more of a hallucinogen than a straight-out fatal poison. He wants everybody to go crazy, like
And
when
help
Rome
them.
burned.
The policeman, finally getting over the fact that mother is stabbing child, wields his
And
baton
child
and
is surviving.
disarms the crazed woman. But remarkably, looking at the little girl while she is bloody, she seems to be uninjured. However, her eyes are clear as glass.
And the little girl looks up and says, there are certain advantages to being dead. Or undead. And attacks the policeman,
How articulate our
trying to
children.
get her fangs into his neck.
The dog whose eyes are now glowing red,
And as large as saucers.
yes, paddles across and attacks.
He's not having a good day.
What's he attacking?
It's above his pay grade.
Well, it's his little girl.
The investigators zoom along. Well, the investigators go along in the streetcar and they hop out near the white-robed crazy.
That one or
Yeah.
this one?
The one on their same side of the river.
Yeah, the one in the straitjacket.
They finally got to some action, other than
Well,
thinking they're in the Dukes of Hazzard general league.
yes.
Well, the straitjacketed individual, seeing that there are many people bearing down on him, says, "Yes, my precious, come to me." The great spider comes out of the shadows.
Attacks the one who's not with the herd.
And attacks the one that she's not
But Leslie, being the possessor of forbidden knowledge, opens his volume and hurriedly rattles off.
I have the rats jump in the river and they're drinking the water, so now they become hallucinogenic. So there is a
Why did you
pack of
step on my line?
hallucinations.
Rats are hallucinating.